Hey everyone, it's Abby Glassenberg from Craft Industry Alliance. Hope you're having a fabulous day today. Usually we come here every Wednesday for our members spotlight. Today we're going to be doing something just a little bit different that I'm super excited about. We are going to be talking with someone who's going to be teaching at H&H Americas. So we haven't quite announced yet who the teachers will be, what the classes will be. So this is kind of your first glimpse of what it's all going to be about. So today we're going to be talking with Arianne Foulks from Aeolidia. And Arianne is an incredible business owner. She has so much information to share, and she's truly an expert, the expert on visual branding and on Shopify. So I'm really excited that Arianne is going to be joining us, and I will tell you that she is going to be at H&H Americas for the first time this year. And she's bringing Helen from her team as well, who will also be teaching. And Arianne's going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to add brand new class format this year that's actually the day before the show opens. And it's something called a master class. So I'm super excited to tell you about the master classes. There's going to be 4 masterclass opportunities. And each of the master classes is actually 2.5 hours. So there are longer stretches of class time, whereas a regular business class that will take place during the show is only 60 minutes. These are 2.5 hours of class time. The second thing that's a little different about the master classes is that they are capped at 10 people. So unlike regular business class, which might have 50 people or something like that in the room, in a master class, you're only there with 10 people in total for 2.5 hours with this instructor. So as you can imagine, it's actually a really good opportunity to do a deep dive into a topic and get to know the instructor well, understand and actually do. It's going to teach one of those master classes. So we are so lucky and just so excited to be welcoming her and to be welcoming some members of the Aeolidia team. Hey, Arianne, how are you?
Hi, Abby. I'm doing great. Thank you.
Good. So nice to see you. And I was just talking about this new format of classes that we're going to be offering this year, which take place the day before the show opens. So for people who don't have that on their calendar yet, it's June 21st to 23rd is the show, and this will take place on June 20th, which I believe I have that right. That is the Tuesday of that week. And these are called master classes. So they're a deeper dive, 2.5 hours, just 10 people with their instructor. And you're going to be teaching one. You're the first one that we've revealed to the public. So it's very exciting. I know, it's so cool. So I wondered if you could maybe first start, we'll take a step back. Tell us a little bit about Aeolidia for those folks who just haven't heard about it yet. And then we'll kind of talk about what this masterclass is going to be about.
Yes, certainly. So Aeolidia is my branding and design studio. We focus mainly on Shopify e-commerce sites. We've worked with so many crafters, fabric shops, yarn shops. That's one of our areas of interest. Most people on our team have a crafty hobby or two. They're knitters themselves. I used to sew a whole bunch of quilts. So we all have a little background there. And there's a lot of tricky things that go into selling crafts online, like, fabrics have fat quarters and there's different kinds of yardage to deal with. So there's stuff that comes up that can't just be covered normally. So that's our little niche that we like to work in. We also work with jewelry designers, bath and body, toys, kids, just really anything where the owner has created the product usually. Like maybe it's being manufactured now, but it's not just some drop shipped business. It's like something with a story and something that somebody has made themselves. So I've been doing this for 18 years now somehow. So we've learned a lot. I just had to figure this out for something else. We've worked with over 700 projects at this point. So
that's amazing.
We've learned a lot. We've been with Shopify for many of those years. So we have a lot of deep expertise in Shopify, which is what we're going to be teaching about at H&H.
Yeah, so great. So and you did a webinar for us not too long ago about Shopify sites, kind of workshopping some of our member sites live, and it was really good. So I'm really looking forward to this masterclass. So as we mentioned, the master classes at H&H are a little bit of a longer session, 2.5 hours, just 10 people. And tell us a little bit about what your class is going to focus on specifically so people can start thinking about whether this is something that they want to take part in.
Yeah, well, first, I'm really looking forward to doing a 2.5 hour class because usually I'm only given about an hour to get through everything and really ends up being 40 minutes or so we can take Q&A. So I feel like I often have to breeze over a lot of stuff that's maybe a little more complex. So I love the idea of being able to really dig into it and talk about people's unique scenarios and things like that. But I always feel like a website is never done. There's always so much you can do on your website. So even if you have it up and running and it feels like it's working pretty well, it always can be working better. And so I think we're going to be concentrating on getting your conversion rate up and getting your average order value up and making sure the customers that already know about you stay engaged and interested. And that can be an incredible boost to your sales. Like, I don't want to get too deep into math right now, but we're going to talk about conversion rate, which is how many people who visit your site actually buy something from you. So if your percentage right now is 2 or 3% and you can move that to 4 or 5%, you've doubled your sales without having to get any more traffic. So it's really a big deal to keep working on your site and make sure that it's working well. Sometimes it can feel like a relief, like, oh, I finally got something up, I'm done here now. But you can't really be done. There's always a lot to do. And even if your site's working very well, the sites that do work very well for the big brands, they are constantly refining and adjusting and improving. So you're never really done, and there's always more that can happen to make your site work better for you and for your customers. So we're going to be talking about a whole lot that goes into that. Just how to, I guess we're going a little more advanced in this masterclass. So this is not going to be beginner stuff. This is going to be, you have a website and now you want to know how to make it better. So we might talk about what different apps that you can use, what features you might not have thought of that you can add, what we've seen work on the sites that we work on to just help people make more money or have things work more easily on the back end. There's also like a big time-saving component sometimes to the work we do because all of the management you need to do in your admin to coordinate everything, if it's not set up well, it can be a real drag on your time and your staff's time. So we'll talk about all that kind of thing that you can do just to make things easier for you, easier for your team, easier for your customers, and then also just more interesting and compelling and engaging so people will stick around to learn more about what you do and start shopping and, make more purchases.
Absolutely. And so, if there's 10 people in this class for the 2.5 hours, I'm imagining like I could bring up my Shopify site and that could be a point of discussion during the class. So it's not kind of that situation where you're looking at theoreticals or that sort of thing. It's like, okay, well, here are 10 people who have sites. So let's look at these 10 people's sites and really, use this as an example of something that you could shift and everyone can learn from that who's there.
Absolutely. So we would love to share best practices and maybe show some examples of features, but then we can talk about how can you actually set that up for yourself. And then if you have some tricky problem that you've been working on with your site or trying to figure out, that's a perfect time to bring it to us and we can problem solve it together. And oftentimes people have the same sort of problem. So whatever you bring, if you come to the class that might be not working well for you, that might end up being like a good learning moment for other people there as well. So I would absolutely love to dig into people's very specific needs and what's working well and maybe could use some improvement on their sites.
And I don't know about you, but like for me, when I've hired a developer or a designer to do branding, etc., it's always remote. Like it's always a remote relationship. They don't live in the same state or anywhere near me. And you're sort of like communicating via email or communicating on video or by phone to get things done. So I think it's actually really unique too to be in person with a person who is an expert who's looking at your site. Like I'm now thinking about my own site and I've never been in person with someone who's actually looking at my site in person. So I imagine like the communication there is just, it's swifter. You can point something, see right here, this is what I'm talking about. It's just a little bit more direct. And so I think you would get more done that way. It's interesting. It's an interesting idea. I mean, obviously the website's virtual, but when you're both there, a teacher and a student, it's just a little bit more interactive.
Yeah, I know. I like that too. We have to, we work remotely with all of our clients. So, we set up tutorial videos and written instructions, and we'll get on a Zoom and share our screen sometimes, but it's really nice to just side by side and go, where are you stuck? Where do you need to find it? So here's where you find it, and here's what you click, and here's how you do it.
So
Make
fast. You're like right here. See that? That's where you click. Like it's just so quick. So I think that's really a special opportunity, and I feel like you come to the trade show to get kind of best practices, learn from the best, and this is a great opportunity. You know, Shopify is the premier e-commerce platform, so if you've already got it set up, might as well make the most of it and walk away from this show with actual like practical things you can put into place right away to, as you said, increase your conversion rate, get over the difficulty, the issue you're having, fix the back end, all that stuff, so that you're ready to really like improve your business in the months to come.
Yeah, and when I do those webinars where we go through people's websites live and talk about what they improve, I've also done that in person at Craftcation in Ventura, and people sit around the table and they make the changes while we're talking about it. So sometimes their website is better at the end of our 1 hour session than it was before they hopped in there. So I'd love to be able to do that in person. And just see what people need help with and how we can bring that help. Another thing I'd like to mention is if you're not on Shopify, but you know you'd like to be on Shopify, there's a lot that goes into migrating over there. So we can talk about best practices. You might not be able to adjust that right there that day because you don't have your Shopify set up, but you can note that information down, and then we can also talk about what you need to think about to move over there, how to move your products and your customers and what kind of things are important to keep in mind. So I'd say this is not necessarily for someone who has a Shopify site, but anybody who knows they would like to be on Shopify this year could get a lot out of it as well.
Right, exactly. So if you're on another platform, but you're like, I really would like to move, then sign up, and this is going to be a great session for you as well. You'll learn a ton. So yeah, I'm very excited about it. The tickets for H&H are going to go on sale. It's almost, actually, I think it's a month from today. It's going to be March 15th. So it is coming up. And at that time, you'll be able to register for the master classes. Since there's only 10 spots, I would definitely like pick what you want. And over the next couple of weeks here on Instagram Live, each Wednesday, we're going to be talking to different teachers, instructors, speakers who are going to be there. So it'll give you a little bit of a taste, like what we just did today. And yeah, hopefully mark a calendar for March 15th when the tickets go on sale. And I can't wait to see you in person. It's been a long time since we've been chatting, you know, virtually. So it'll be great to actually see you in person too.
I know, that's my favorite thing about this year. It feels like we're maybe getting past this thing where we're all stuck in our homes, and I've really been enjoying getting out and meeting people in person again. So I really hope to see you there.
Absolutely. And hope to see you all there. So yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.